guys, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Confessions of a Fitness Coach. I'm your host, Coach Danielle Collette. I'm so glad you're tuning in today. It's an important episode. It is about good and bads of sugars. And then I also threw in some tips, about 10 or more, maybe more, about how to kick that sugar addiction or just at least slow it down. Stuff to implement better eating habits. So let's face it, guys. We all love sugar, and it's in almost everything that we freaking eat. Even foods that aren't necessarily sweet tasting. Sometimes, we snack on it. Sometimes we binge. And then, sometimes our mouths water at just the thought of sugary candies, drinks, and foods. Or at least I know I do. It's a struggle, and it's getting real. So did you know that the suggested daily amount of sugar is 25 grams for women and 36 grams for guys, according to the World Health Organization? That's 6 to 9 teaspoons a day. Now, you might be driving right now or sitting and eating somewhere wherever you are and consuming a snack or food or maybe a drink of some sort. And if what you have in your hands has a nutrition label, I want you to check the back right now for how much sugar is in that product. I hope you're not driving, so wait till you pull over. And be sure to check the serving size as well, because sometimes that's sneaky. It could be 2 serving sizes, 3 serving sizes. So you got to watch that. If you're not eating at the moment, next time you have a snack or a can of soda in your hand, check that nutrition label and be honest with yourself about how many grams of sugar a day you are consuming. Like if you know you have 3 or 4 cans of Coca-Cola a day, be honest with yourself about what I just said here about 25 grams a day for women, 36 grams a day for guys. If you're going double, triple, quadruple over that, we really need to talk. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm so dorky. I'm sorry, guys. So, we're checking that nutrition label. And like I said, I'm sure it's well above the suggested amount. I know it was for me, and I still on occasion go over. I'm not going to lie. We are all human and we all fall off the map. The main thing is that you make sure that your slip doesn't turn into a slide, and you try to practice those good habits every day. So, I want to talk about the different kinds of sugars and why some are good or bad and what it does to your body, your mind, and how you can kind of slow your roll on that sugar intake. So research has shown that sugar has the same addictive effects as drugs. Yeah, that's right, drugs. We reward ourselves like dogs with sugary foods and snacks and even resort to them for every good or bad emotion that we have. Like I know when I get sad, I'm always like, oh, I'm having a bad day. Let me get an ice cream out of the fridge. You cannot resort to that. You are not a dog. You can't treat yourself like that. So that's just something put in the back of your head and maybe think about so it slows you down. We need to start just practicing to eat for purpose and not for pleasure. That's what I like to say. So let's take a second to talk about sugars and carbs and just kind of how they are ingested in the body and what goes on from there. So they're mainly stored in the liver as glycogen, and if and when the liver is full, it will start to produce fat from any excess sugars and carbohydrates, and then it will start to store them into fat deposits that already exist in your body. So you can imagine how much sugar you consume will turn into more fat. So again, be mindful. Eat for purpose, not for pleasure. Now that we know what goes on inside of the body while ingesting those type of things and how it's stored, let's talk about having an excess amount can affect your body, not only just now, but also in the long term. So having an excess amount of sugar, more than recommended dosage a day, can lead to diabetes. It can cause some cancers, and too much sugar can also increase your risk of heart disease and strokes. And it also damages the liver really slowly, and it can cause metabolic dysfunction, tooth decay, and honestly, the list goes on. I encourage you to Google it. Literally educate yourself, guys. A sugarscience.org study says that 74% of processed foods contain added sugar stealthily, hidden like ninja style, hidden under more than 60 different names of sugars. So basically, if it ends with an os at the end of the word, it's some type of processed sugar. So dextrose, sucrose, glucose, fructose, I feel like a rapper, high fructose, corn syrup, lactose, just high fructose corn syrup is terrible. Just moderation, guys. Maltose is another one. These are just to name a few. These are the ones you really want to look over twice and make sure you're not binging on. So let's talk about the different types here. We got simple sugars, which can be found in things like fruits, veggies, beans, whole grains. These are naturally occurring sugars that are great energy sources for the body. They are packed and loaded with vitamins and nutrients, and you really, really want to aim to eat more of those type of foods with more natural sources of sugars derived from simple sugars. Your best bet is to go to a local market for organic or natural foods, or maybe find a whole food store type of place near you. So now you have an idea of the stuff you want to aim more towards. Those are the stuff you want to start picking up better eating habits with those simple sugars, stuff that are naturally occurring, stuff that's sweetened with these natural fruits and veggies. So now that you know that, we're going to talk about processed, or also known as added sugars. Those are the ones you really want to stay away from or aim for moderation. So like I was saying a minute ago, high fructose corn syrups and sugary drinks with processed sugars, it has no nutritional value, like whatsoever. And an excess of processed sugar is dangerous for the body. Like I said, we already discussed this. And having too much processed sugars in your daily intake can mess with our hormones and trick the body into thinking it's more hungry than you actually are. I think it was Tony Robbins who once said, you don't lack the resources, you lack the resourcefulness. So basically, you have the ability to learn and educate yourself on what you're putting into your bodies. Stop being blind to it. You have a world of information at your fingertips. Google, learn, educate yourself, because you only have one body to live in for the rest of your life, and you can either let it rot or you can keep it in good condition. Again, like I said, just be mindful. Stop binging and letting your emotions control you. It's not worth it. All right, so I think I'm done preaching about sugars and the different types. We're going to get into the tips on how to kick your sugar habit, or just in general to slow your freaking roll. So number one is drink more water. And I've told y'all before, it will help you feel more full. It keeps the skin looking fresh, y'all. So drink some water. It's good for you. It'll keep you feeling good and full. Number two, no refined sugars, only in moderation if you must. Try to switch your Oreos or Chips Ahoy to more organic or natural sweets, whole foods, and natural sugars instead. So like me and my fiance will go to Publix in the organic aisle, and we'll try to find like the naturally sweetened snacks versus those overly processed sugar ones. Or we'll just try to make our own with natural ingredients and organic. Tip number 3. So try not to binge eat on unhealthy snacks late at night. What I like to try to do is, instead of walk into the fridge, I try to lay down a yoga mat or something, get my mind off of it, and do some stretching instead. And if that doesn't work, like I said in tip number 2, switch your processed sugar snacks to fruits like grapes, bananas, pineapples, or less sugary snacks. Just be more mindful of the type of stuff you're putting in your body. And number 4, this is a serious one. Quit drinking sodas. 1 can of Coca-Cola has 39 grams of sugar, added sugar. And most of these diet ones are sweetened with artificial crap that is terrible for you. Thankfully, these bigger name companies have been kind of getting the hint, and they've been switching out their highly processed sugary drinks with more naturally sweetened stuff with like more stevia base. But still be careful, be cautious, and really read that label. Don't always trust what it says in the front. You really got to dig deep. So what I also did is I switched my drinks, like my sodas and stuff, to hot tea and natural raw honey. And my fiance started drinking coconut water or more naturally sweetened carbonated drinks, like I said. So just go to your local Whole Foods store, check out what they have, try something new. Like I said, You only have one body to live in, and it's your choice to make better decisions for your future. I also started to drink more hot tea instead of reaching for a glass of wine or 5 a night. It's really helped me kick my wine addiction, actually my entire alcohol addiction. I really, really, rarely ever drink anymore. And if I do, it's I think 2 or 3 drinks a month, maybe. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I used to drink at night quite a bit. 3, 4 glasses of wine. Okay, I hope I'm not the only one. Moving on. Number 5, if you are a chocolate lover, try to go for dark chocolate, which is rich in iron and fiber. And I've been trying to do this more, and I've been really liking the results. Also, a good thing to switch out instead of binging on ice cream and Ben & Jerry's, you can switch out to organic or naturally sweetened yogurts. They're really high in nutrients and fiber. So that's a really good one to switch out to. So we'll move on to number 6. So if you're a person who really likes barbecue sauce, ketchup, and so on, try to go to a Whole Foods store and find a better alternative with less sugars and more nutrients. I actually replaced out my barbecues, like my Sunny sweet sauce and my Baby Ray's sweet and spicy that I loved. I found this really awesome barbecue at Publix that it's this barbecue sauce, and it's organic and it's naturally sweetened, and it's only got 1 gram or 2 grams of sugar in it per serving. So if you're interested in finding out what that is, just write me on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, and I'll give you the information for that, or I'll send you a picture of the product. So moving on, number 7, adding more protein and healthy fats to your diet. It keeps you feeling fuller for longer, and you should already be aiming to kind of keep your healthy fats and protein nutrient intakes high on the daily already. Keep practicing, and you'll see that this helps lessen the sugar cravings. If you're interested on more things about nutritional facts, I have a recent episode. It was episode 3 or 4. Go check that one out. Number 8, make sure you're getting enough sleep at night. If you know sitting by the TV at night triggers you to make you want to go grab a snack, like I said a little bit ago, try to lay a yoga mat down in front of the TV, do some stretching instead. Just do not let your emotions or your boredom make you reach for sugary snacks. You'll regret it. You always feel like shit the next day, so stop doing it. So think about how it makes you feel before you put it in your mouth. I know it's hard to do, but if you keep practicing and practicing, that's what it's going to take, is practicing those healthy habits. If you know it makes you feel like shit the next day, try to be mindful about it. Another thing you could do, reach for a book instead or listen to a podcast. Maybe something about fitness and nutrition, something that'll brainwash your ass into good eating habits while you're sleeping. Just leave those headphones in. I'm just kidding. So number 9, you have to understand that this is a lifestyle change, and it's not just a get there quick scheme. There's no magic pill or magic wrap or workout that is going to magically make you lose weight. We are all looking for lasting results and a lifestyle change. And the American diet and highly processed foods and additives is what I believe is causing all these terrible diseases. And they're also becoming more and more of a normalcy in our country. And instead of waiting to see if it's going to be us next, do something about it now and take care of yourself. For you, for your family, for your future. I care about you, and you should care about you. All right? So that's important. It's not a get there quick scheme. There's no pill that's going to sell you. And if there is, please show me the magical unicorn that I wrote in on so my ass can catch a ride. All right, let's move on to number 10. How many times have you looked back and wished you did something about a decision you made in your life in the past? It is not too late to make a change for your life, for your health, and for your future. So start being mindful and eat for purpose and not for pleasure. Try to stay away from the processed foods with no nutritional value and opt for more organic, naturally sweetened treats or natural fruits and veggies. All right, that's number 10. Now, y'all know I'm extra. I threw in 11. I just couldn't help myself. So number 11, I challenge you to go through your kitchen right now. Go through all your shitty snacks. Toss them. I dare you. Toss all the crappy ones out. Read the nutrition label. Be honest with yourself if you know it's going to trigger you. If you know that you sit at home at night and you're watching Game of Thrones or whatever show you were liking to watch at the time, The Bachelorette is on, and you like to eat your box of Oreos, but you only say you're going to have 5, but you end up having 15 because you didn't have control, because you got all freaking emotional. If you know that's your trigger, then throw that box out and start buying healthier snacks. Get rid of your triggers. This is stuff that I deal with, everyone deals with all the time, on the daily. It's just up to you to practice those better eating habits and to form newer, healthier habits instead of resorting to those old triggers. Just find something that's going to work for you is the most important part. This stuff is just as much mental as it is physical. So you really have to mentally get your head right. So if you know that is your problem and you know you're going to reach for that box, try to keep it out of the house. Stop going to buy it. Just hold yourself accountable, guys. So that is it for your tips. You got 11. And I really hope you enjoyed this episode and hopefully you learned a few things to take with you on your fitness and nutrition journey. And really, please, it would make my day if you left a review, maybe screenshot it with your phone and message it to me on Instagram. Find me at Coach Danielle Collette, 2 L's, 2 T's. And, so that way I get a chance to thank you personally for that review. And really, I'd love to hear what you want to hear next. Listen, guys, I completely get it. I know it sounds like it's a lot of work and it's a lot of research. It's a lot of, stuff to do, but it's your health that you're deciding to take care of. It's your life. You only have one body, like I said, and it's up to you to be cautious of what you're putting into it. And you can totally do it. The more and more that you implement these daily habits, the more and more that you're going to see the progress and that it's easier and easier to implement. And then it'll just become a normal habit. So again, guys, keep working on it. Practice makes perfect. Sugar isn't this terrible, horrible monster. The body needs it for energy and to function. But the problem is that we're basically overdosing our bodies on these sugars, and it can have really long-term effects on our bodies. And that's what you really, really want to be mindful about. And that's the reason why this episode is just so important. So just really watch the sugar intake and make sure the quality versus quantity, guys. Really, that is what is important. But thanks again, everybody, for listening and tuning in to Confessions of a Fitness Coach. I am your host, Coach Danielle Collette. And go make today your bitch, guys. I love ya. Talk to you later.